Hey Jesse, how you doing? Justin, nice to see you this morning. I appreciate you making the time. I know that you've got a busy schedule. I just wanted to give you a quick preview of my thoughts and sort of my presentation for the board meeting tomorrow.
Great, I'm really looking forward to hearing it.
As you know, and as everybody is hyper focused on right now, we've got an issue in Japan, right? The market opportunity of $100 million out there, and yet we've only got about $1 million of sales, and we think the issue is tied, or we know it's tied to our exclusive agreement with TechnoWise. And as you know, I've spent some time in Japan. I think the main conclusion is that we've got to do something because TechnoWise, and you know, for your knowledge, there's talk that they're essentially selling products above the selling price and keeping more of the margin. There's talk of them potentially pirating our licenses, selling it on the side without our knowledge. So we think we got to do something with the partnership. We don't think they're motivated. When I reviewed some of the options, I think there's three things we could do. The first one is we could just terminate the entire agreement alone and then form our own subsidiary.
Okay.
The second thing is that we can terminate the agreement and then search for a new exclusive partner in Japan. And the last option, I think, is that we can make TechnoWise kind of the master partnership, so they end up becoming sort of our exclusive distributor in Japan. So given the information that I've just shared with you, I think it's very clear that we can't do the last option. It doesn't make any sense to sort of promote a partner that's been in some ways untrue to us. So narrowing it down to those two options of whether we should form our own subsidiary, whether we should not form our own subsidiary, my personal opinion is that we go with the option of not forming our own subsidiary and partnering up with somebody else in Japan.
Okay.
So here's why. If we decide to form our own subsidiary, I think it's going to be incredibly expensive. The team now, TechnoWise in place, they've got 2 sales representatives. They've got about a sales and engineer. I think they've got a little bit of marketing, but certainly not enough marketing or support. So if you break down some of the costs, and I can provide the details and further in Excel and all that, it ends up being close to about an $800,000 investment for us per year just to get people on the ground in Japan. And so I'm not exactly sure if that's the right path, just given how expensive it is up front, and because we only have $1 million of revenue there. And the other thing that concerns me is just the cultural differences of operating in Japan. If you form your own subsidiary, you've got the costs of investing in a team, but also there's some pretty big cultural differences in terms of how the relationships are driven. I don't think that we as an American company can go in and just establish all these business partnerships. So do you have any questions on what we've talked about so far?
Yeah, I got 2 questions.
Okay.
So pirating licenses, that's a pretty serious allegation.
It is.
It is. How should we address that?
Yeah, so we don't have any evidence of such activity. We've heard rumors, and we certainly have a feel for it. I don't think we need to go down the sort of lawsuit direction.
Okay.
But I think it's more so a reason to give us on why we should terminate. So if we approach other exclusive partners, we can explain to us that we terminated not because there was a rift between we weren't treating them well, we weren't paying them well, but actually it was because they were pirating our software.
And then given what you presented about how relationship-driven Japanese culture is, how are we going to do that with sensitivity for that relationship-driven culture?
Yeah, definitely. So we have to, I think that's the biggest risk. We have to be very careful in terminating that relationship. But that's also why I think that we need to approach other partners. If we can find another exclusive partner, and I think that somebody who's already entrenched in this market and in this country, our local Japanese partners, then I think that we can really maximize the potential of this market, but also do so in a way that's respectful and also very culturally in tune. So I can go into all the details with you later, and of course tomorrow we've got the big board meeting. But I just wanted to give you a high level overview of some of my thoughts.
I really appreciate it.
Great.
It's good to get a little sneak peek of what you're thinking.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Great. See you
all
tomorrow.
Right, take care. Yep.